What up, what up? It's your boy John, aka Jah'Preme once again. Talking to y'all, rapping to y'all real quick. Thank you for all the subscribers and everybody who's subscribing to the page, liking the videos, commenting, and leaving your feedback. It's a beautiful thing. Today, the topic is men without balls. Men without balls. Don't get me wrong. And again, this is for my nation of people. My nation, my black people, my black men. Men without balls. You do not have to have money to have balls. You do not have to have money to have power. All of those things can be given to you through the Spirit. Strength, faith, bravery, all of those things pertain to spirituality. They do not pertain to money. You do not need money to be brave, courageous, bold, and to stand against your oppressor. Period. Including me, because I'm a man. And what we go wrong is we listen to a lot of teachers, but a lot of teachers, they don't apply what they teach to themselves. And that's why they're not good leaders. They're just people who have information. I'm not even going to say good information, because the only way it can be good information is if the leader himself follows that information. Men without balls. Where do we start? We can really go back to the late 70s and 80s when the government flooded the streets. It's like the men lost their balls. They only had the balls to kill other black men. I'm talking about our people. We came from a revolutionary generation that stood against police with guns, killed police. And they continued to do so till about the mid-80s. But by the time the 80s hit, most of those men were taken out of the home and in prison and exiled. Let's be real. And it's like after that, it was like money. I got money. We went to listening to the strong, courageous man, the faithful man, that was faithful and loyal to his people, to listening to the scumbag that has the money, because men without balls took positions of power. They started getting money, and the people followed the money and took their word to heart. And that's our greatest sin. Our greatest sin is following the money. That's the greatest sin in the black community. We follow the money. We follow the money, so whoever has the money has to say so. They have the power. So I'm saying, man, it's not how it should be. The strong men that's left, most of them, in prison. And they've been in prison for some time. Exiled, killed. It's still a few of us. Well, a lot of us are afraid to take a stand. I was going to say take the stand. Take a stand, because it's a suicide mission. We'll take a stand, and they'll follow us as long as it benefits them. They'll follow, especially if you have the money. They'll follow, but it's a suicide mission. You'll put yourself on the front line, just like our Lord and Savior did. You get killed, and everyone forget about you. Going to their regular life, back to their life, partying, just like George Floyd. Don't you see the Jesus narrative, how it goes? George Floyd, this man got killed before the world with a knee to the neck. He died in the worst way. This man died from this man died with a knee to the neck. You know you're going to die because you know this officer's not going to let his foot up, his knee up off your neck. We got in an outrage. We followed. We became woke and black power, black love, black-owned business, And, some of the conscious leaders, they saw the power of the dollar. And so, they looked out for their pockets in it. But look what everybody doing now. Back to the money. Fucking up people's homes. Fucking other people's husbands. Fucking other people's wives. Stealing, robbing. Peter to pay Paul. Designer junkie this. Designer junkie that. New cars, new clothes, Fucking every time Dick and Harry we can. Yeah, let's talk about the truth of the matter. All that shit went out the window. Ain't no more stay woke. Now they call it, what do they call it now? They call it back in the day phrase. It's not a phrase. First of all, it's not stay woke, it's get woke. And we have a bunch of blind people leading the masses. And the Bible even tells you, the blind leading the blind, and they too fall into the ditch. We're falling in the ditch because we're following blind leadership. Because a leader has money, because a leader has tools and assets, does not mean we follow him. If they were not given the power and the authority from the Creator, the Supreme Ruler, the Most High God, to lead, then you should not be following them. Come on, man. And then you get mad when scandals come out with children and, homo scandals come out. Why? What are you mad about? You follow the blind leader. You were blind. He didn't need you to string you led yourself to follow the blind because you didn't have the connection and you didn't have the connection and you didn't have the relationship with the Most High. That's your fault. Faking and shaking. That's how y'all doing. Flamming just to get by. No real connection, no real relationship with the Most High Supreme Ruler. Y'all don't even talk to him. Y'all don't even have a connection where you can talk to him in the spirit all day long. I'm talking about just have real conversations with him, build with him. You know how good that feels, bro? It almost brought tears to my eyes to just talk about that, bro. You know how powerful that is? You can just have a real conversation like you talking to somebody standing right next to you. Huh? Have you established or have you engaged in that type of activity? You know how powerful that is? Bro, we as a people, we just got to stop following men who don't have that connection, men who don't have that relationship, who can't engage like that with the Most High because they ain't have permission. They ain't do what it takes, they don't do what it takes, and they don't have what it takes to fight. They're just trying to make their next dollar, feed their family, look good for the public as a public figure, and go on with their life, bro. And I respect that to some degree. You want to eat, you want to do something for your kids and your family, of course you do. But leaders lead nations or build nations. So either you do that with your family or start with your family or you start with the people. A lot of us don't even have a real connection with the people. We're not really connected with the people. We don't even believe in the people. We don't even believe that we can change as a people. But when you follow men without balls, it's what you do. Follow the blind. Follow the ones who don't matter, who aren't called. They put themselves in positions of leadership. You don't understand what a real leader does. A real leader is chosen. Look at all these leaders all these plants that they put before you to follow. They're blind. And you're too blind to see their plants because guess what? You're a vegetable. You're a spiritual vegetable. You choose to follow men without balls. They don't have the kahunas to take on other nations. They don't have the kahunas to stand against the government and the evil system that's against us. They don't have that. In fact, they work with them. In fact, I'm going to go even deeper than that. They work for them. They work for them. Look at all these plants with all these podcasts that they have before. They keep you blind. They did it with the TV. Now they're doing it with social media. Excuse me. Now they're doing it with social media. Now they're doing it with, the internet now. It's easier access. Because now they can get your children. And if you don't teach your children to have a spirit of discernment and to know God when they see it, shit, your children lost. Your children blind. And then their children gonna be blind. And that's the whole goal and purpose. And you don't even know it because you're so focused on money, where your next dollar coming from, and partying, and all the shit that don't matter. And that's why these leaders couldn't be chosen. Because a revolution is not temporary. That shit that went on with George Floyd and that whole time span, man, I already knew the people were gonna go back to square one. Back to the bullshit. All the plants came out. All the fake conscious leaders came out. And what did they do? One of them went to prison. One of them went to prison for discharging semen on a 14-year-old girl. Oh, all right. So, where are those woke leaders at? Strip clubs, womanizing, fornicating, drunkards. Yeah. Back to the norm. And let me tell you something, man. Let me just be real with you. As a man, men like sex, all right? Men like to have a good time. Yes, we all do. We all have things we like. I'm not knocking that at all. Who am I to knock it? We have likes. We have things that we like doing. But we must think about the betterment of the future. The betterment. We must focus on bettering ourselves so those things won't control us. And if you don't know that as a leader, you're not a real leader. There's a lot of things I want to do, but I just know for the betterment of me being a man and taking care of my family, I'd rather focus on other things than the things I like. I have likes just like every other man. Very tempting likes. It's not for the betterment of my future though. It's just temporary fix. Just temporary pleasure, temporary fix. And I realize that now, more than I did then. So I'd rather be forward thinking, forward moving. I'm not judging a man for having faults or shortcomings or having pleasures that he desires, because I desire some of those same pleasures. But for the betterment of my family and being a man and focusing on the future, it's not good for me. Temporary fixes aren't the solution. So I suffer. Not struggle, so I suffer. Because struggle is you're in it and you're actually doing it. Suffering is you fight against it. And that's what men without balls don't have the courage to do. Fight those temporary pleasures and fixes for the betterment of their people. All you got to do is wave a dollar in their face and they'll sell their whole nation out. And they're doing it now because they don't have the balls to stand. They don't have the courage to say no. Look at the Diddy case. You know all Diddy was doing, and I don't mean to bring him up, but he's a trending topic. And you can relate to what's going on. I mean, relate to seeing what's going on, hopefully. All Diddy was doing was using people because he had money and power. He didn't give a fuck. He was just showing you what people would do and how low they'll actually go to get money. And he recorded them and blackmailed them so they wouldn't sell him out and throw him under the bus as if they didn't partake in any of these activities or get or receive payment for any of these activities. I mean, hey, if you're going to be a devil, be a smart one. But are you a man with balls that can stand against the music industry and what's going on in the music industry and saying, you know what, this ain't the route we need to take. We need a more positive outlook for our people. So we're not rapping about black on black crime no more. We're not singing about just sex no more and going half on the baby no more. We're going to keep the revolutionary spirit. We're going to keep the revolution going. We're not on that tip of sneak dissing and dissing each other. We're not on that tip. We're in a different mode. We believe in power and unity over here, and we're going to stick together. And if only our leaders had the balls to stand against people like Clive Davis, people like Leah Cohen, like Dame Dash Storm, these niggas don't have the balls. See, they were born with the parts, but they don't have the courage to stand in them and use them for the right reasons, which is why the people are further behind or don't seek to get further ahead, because those are the men they put in power because they know they're not going to have a positive effect on the black community, and their nation is still going to rule. All because niggas want money and power, but they don't want to do what it takes or have the balls it takes to do it without a white sugar daddy or a Jewish sugar daddy. That's it. That's all. Appreciate y'all chilling with me. I'll rap to y'all later. It's your boy Jah'Preme. Peace.